We found it really intense. It's a really engaging way to keep people sharp. Hello, it's Ryan Tierney from Lean Made Simple, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 top tips for a successful book club. For the first time I heard of a company doing a book club, I thought that's an absolute waste of time, but just didn't make any sense to me. But then we kind of tried it and the results that we got were incredible, really unbelievable. It's a really good way to get engagement. It really brought the team together. It encouraged collaboration. We got ideas from people that typically would have been quiet. It was one of the most beneficial things we ever done. And the books don't have to be about lean. They can be on any topic that you find interesting or any topic that you think will benefit your company. So we're going to get through the 5 top tips for a successful book club. At number 5, the top tip is to rotate the book club host. So it's really important for different people to host the meeting and host the book club. Similar to the morning meeting, if you're running a morning meeting at your company, it's always a good idea to rotate the host. So same thinking with the book club. Rotating the host really grows and develops that person hosting the book club, because they really have to internalize the information in order to stand in front of the rest of the company and present the ideas. At number 4, the next top tip is to change the environment. And this is something we do a lot at our company when we do a book club. Some days the book club could be in the conference room. Some days the book club is in the staff canteen. Some days we even do the book club on the shop floor and walk around and look at things as we're talking. It's a really engaging way to keep people sharp, to keep them focused. It's this idea of changing the environment. Sometimes it's in the canteen with a cup of coffee. We might get a breakfast in, we might do it over lunch. But it's really important to change the location and change the environment. It really helps to deepen the level of knowledge and understanding while reading the book. The next top tip at number 3 is to do a weekly book club. In the past, we done a daily book club, but we found it really intense. And we quickly learned that we were trying to pack too much information into a really short space of time. So we do a weekly book club. So every Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 8:15 is book club time. So it's one chapter a week or one small section of a book per week. And another thing I would really encourage is to take a gap between books. If you've got your book finished, take a few weeks or a month in between starting the next one, just to give people time to internalize the information and really apply what they've learned. So number 2, the top tip is to slow down and internalize the information. And this is something I learned from a guy, Paul Martinelli, a business coach from Palm Beach, Florida. He taught me this about 13 years ago. This idea of slowing down to internalize information. Most people speed read and they skim over it, but are they really internalizing the information? And you hear all these stories about people reading all these books. And I don't agree with that. I think you should pick one book and really internalize the information. So how I internalize information when I'm reading is that I always have a pen and I always have a highlighter, and I will take a full week to read one chapter, which may only be 2 or 3 pages if it's the Lean Made Simple book. Really slow down, read 4 times slower than you normally read, and try and think, what is the author really trying to tell me here? It's this idea of slowing down to internalize the information. So at number 1, and the most important tip for a successful book club, is to take action notes at the end. Because it's all very well reading a book, but what are you actually doing with the information? My favourite quote of all time, and the quote is in my book, it says, the biggest gap in the world is the gap between that which we know and that which we do. So it's the gap between knowing and doing. So we can read information, we can understand it, but what are we doing with the information? So it's really important at the end of every book club session to have somebody in the corner with a notebook saying, okay, what actions are we taking based on the new learnings? So just to recap, at number 5 is to rotate the book club host. At number 4 is to do a weekly book club. Don't do it daily, do it weekly. To change the environment, to keep it interesting for your people. Number 2 is to internalise the information and deeply think about what you're reading. And number 1 is to take notes on your next steps or next actions. So my new book, Lean Made Simple, 12 Steps for Creating a Vibrant Lean Culture, is actually designed to be a book club book. And that's the way I've designed it. So each chapter is only 2 or 3 pages. There's really nice quotes in there. There's burning questions in there. At the back, there's actually a space which asks questions and encourages you to interact with the book and take notes. So I'd really encourage you to get some copies of Lean Made Simple and start your book club today.